Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great another one about insurance, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I'm right off the St. Johns River today, and I'm over at one of my mentors' houses. I'm just getting ready to go have some fun. So let's go ahead and dive right on into our subject. Our subject for today: why is it so hard to sell insurance to old people? Okay. Or why is it so hard to buy insurance when you're an older person? Or maybe we should ask, why is it so expensive when you buy insurance when you're an older person? See, here's the reality, guys. The closer you get to death, the more expensive it costs. A lot of times people, when they're younger, they want to live life, have a lot of fun. They say, hey, I got some insurance at work. I really don't need any. I don't need any insurance. I don't need no life insurance because I'll live to be 1,000 years old. Well, guys, we just had a pandemic and we're still kind of at the edges of it. It's kind of scary. And we've had a lot of older people who are more interested in buying life insurance more than ever. And the reason being is because they know the writing's on the wall. And one of the things that's kind of scary when you get to be a little bit older is you're on a budget. You got all kinds of bills coming in if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And what happens is the older you get, the higher, I said higher, the higher the rates go up and the prices. It sucks. Now, women, they're going to be able to get a better deal than most men, but I'm going to tell you what, it still can be kind of expensive. And see, what happens is I've seen it in my own career. I've seen men, we're tough and everything, but we get to be in our late 60s and our early 70s, and we want to buy some insurance. And they go, well, I'd like to go ahead and get me some insurance to cover me in case I die. Well, how much is it, Mr. Insurance Man or lady? And you tell them. They look at you like, oh, crap, that's ridiculous. That's so expensive. I can't afford that, and that's all I get for as much money as you're asking. Oh yeah, it gets expensive. The older you get, especially if you got medical issues, and most people do, as they get old, they've got all these prescriptions and things that they have to take. They may have had a stent, a heart attack, maybe they're on blood thinners, maybe they had a heart attack, or like I said, maybe they've got issues which are like tissues and they pop up. And when you go to buy insurance, you don't think nobody's going to ask you, have you ever had any problems? They will. We're going to ask you. They have this thing called the MIB. The MIB is like a hookup network that tells you, hey, listen, this guy, he's had an operation. What it does is it helps the salespeople and the insurance people know what kind of background you've got as far as, if you've been in the hospital. And one of the questions they're going to ask you as a salesperson, or should I say, you're going to be asking your customers is, what type of medications are you on? If you're buying insurance, hey, listen, you need to buy insurance as young as you possibly can. Don't put it off because, see, here's the thing. If you have any problems, it may take up to 2 years for that insurance policy to fully kick in because they want to make sure that you're going to live. Now, they may give you 10% or whatever you've put into the policy. If you were to die, your family gets that much, but it won't guarantee the whole policy. And you sometimes when you get up to a particular age, you could possibly get only about $30,000 worth of insurance. And if you're on a budget, or if your significant other has already passed away and you've only got one income, it can be substantial. And a lot of times people will buy some type of insurance because they don't want to leave their family in a bad situation. It costs so much money, over $10,000 just for a good funeral, and it's not going to get cheaper. And also, if you have a family member who's buying, who's going to maybe say, I will be cremated. Well, you got it where you can get it for like $1,900 to up to $3,500. But a lot of times, family members may not have that. And what is the family members going to do? They're going to dip in their pocketbook. They're going to go ahead and dip into, putting it on a credit card. And then a lot of times people don't even know what you want, so they'll go ahead and have this expensive funeral thinking they're doing the right thing. They don't know what to do. So you need to let people know as far as what you're wanting to do, especially before you pass away. You got to give them some instructions. You got to give them some knowledge. And I know it's hard to talk about death. Nobody talks about death. I've got insurance on me. I've got insurance on my son. He's not even 20 years old, and I bought it when he was young because it was a affordable, but you just don't know. And after this crazy pandemic, we really need to talk to our customers about buying insurance, especially at a younger age. You may go, why would anybody want to buy insurance at a younger age? Stuff happens. And if you can talk to your customers, because they're going to get older, and we talk to a lot of people with that final expense. I've seen it where they only can get $5,000 or $10,000, and it's so hard to get that extra money to come up with because they're living so they don't make much money. Social Security, you think that's going to pay you a lot of money? Forget about it. It ain't going to help you at all. It might get you through, but it's not enough. You can't survive. You hopefully have some money put away. Your home is paid for, your car is paid for, because if you have it, it can be overwhelming. And again, a lot of people today, they don't want to leave their families burdens. They don't want to. Maybe you don't care. But I'm telling you guys, if you're looking to sell insurance to older people, be up front. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be like this. They're going to get this thing called sticker shock. Remember the old guy that I talked to? Was in his 70s? He wanted insurance. And when he found out it was going to cost him $100 to $150 a month for less than $10,000, oh my gosh, the guy's brain went all haywire. And I've seen it where it's cheaper, but I'm just sharing with you, those whole life policies, they pay for the rest of the life, and they're paying a premium, and sometimes they go, man, that's all the insurance I can get. But when they were younger, they could have got $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $250,000. But no, we had insurance at work. We don't need no insurance. And then they lose their job, and then they got to take and get the insurance at the old age. Oh my gosh, I got to get insurance and I can't even afford it. So remember, guys, when you're out there selling insurance, don't be afraid. Talk to them about the seriousness of getting insurance. There are a lot of young couples who are purchasing homes, you know, them and their significant other. Talk to them about maybe buying term insurance to cover their mortgage for 30 years. Now, they can get it really cheap at a younger age, but see, here's the key to success. If they've paid $100,000 and only owe $150,000 and one of them were to kick off within the time frame, they get that full $250,000 and they can go ahead and transition. I'm just going to say this. Any insurance is better than having no insurance. And if you have a home, if you're buying a home and you have a significant other, I'll tell you this right now, something's going to happen eventually. And if you buy a home, because I sell houses now, and I'm telling you what, a lot of the people that are buying homes are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they will not live forever. And you have to have some type of insurance to cover you in case you pass away. Because what will happen is, let's just say, for instance, you've been in there for 10, 15 years, and then you pass away, and your significant other is left with the bill, the rest of the monthly mortgage. It don't get cheaper. You still got to pay the same amount. And if they can't even afford to do it by themselves, how do you think? I mean, if you can barely make it and you're both working, making money, and then one of you were to pass away, do you think it's going to be easy for them to keep that house? No. They'll be talking to somebody like me at Exit Real Estate Gallery trying to sell that house and trying to find a place where they can live comfortably and affordable, because you made the decision that, hey, I got life insurance at work. I don't need no insurance. And that's the scary part, guys, because, see, we're talking about a very serious subject. A lot of times, like I said, people, when they get older, it happened to me. I found out that, dang, man, I'm in my late 40s, early 50s, that the price of insurance was up there. But if I would have bought it when somebody approached me when I was in my early 20s, I would have been able to get it dirt cheap, and it would have lasted me the life of my life. But see, I didn't know any better. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing this video with you to let you know you need to be, when you get excited, talk to them, customers. Even if they're old, they still need to buy some insurance. They don't want to leave that burden on their family. They at least got to be cremated. They got to be at least buried and get them enough money to be able to leave a little bit of a legacy. But if you've got a couple and they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, you need to hit them hard and you need to let them know the reality. This thing that happened, this pandemic, we got lucky. I'm telling you what, we got real fortunate. Who knows what the next thing is going to happen? And I'm going to tell you this also, guys. If you have any health issues, you think you're going to get better, you're going to be on medication. The older you get, the more things you go wrong because we break down. And the key to success, guys, is when you're selling life insurance and when you're selling insurance in general, you need to have this conversation. Be kind. Listen to what they say. Make sure you ask good questions. Who is going to be the person that's going to benefit when you pass away? Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you want your family to have to pay for your bills? Because, see, they may have to also pay for your other debt. They may have to go ahead and pay those credit cards and stuff off. And if you ain't got no insurance, how dare you? You put that burden on that family. It ain't good. And the key to success in this regard, guys, if you're buying or even selling insurance, you need to say, get it now. It doesn't get cheaper. I know it can be tough, guys. It's really tough to sell people because they'll send in little cards and everything. You go out to see them and they balk. Oh, I don't know. And then they don't have any insurance. And then somebody may come behind them and sell it to them because you couldn't close it, or they could have just died. So the key to success in this regard, guys, is that you make sure that when you're selling insurance, be polite, but be sincere. And get your insurance, guys, when you're younger. It's a bigger savings. And in the future, you'll be so glad that you talked to old Gary Lee. You heard what he had to say. Because insurance, everybody's dying. And I'm telling you what, don't die without no insurance and leave your family a burden. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy. And do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe and let people know, hey, this is a pretty cool, this video is really good. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your real estate sales guy, your insurance sales guy, and I'm just a sales guy in general. I hope you enjoyed the video. We just talked about why older people don't like to buy insurance because it's so damn expensive. Okay, all right, get it now.